Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and thank you for joining me today because this is just another one of my Step It Up or Simplify. Just some quick cards if you're a beginner crafter, just to show you how you can take a basic design and step it up a bit. And I'm using the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, which is a lovely one with nature's images. In my other video I forgot to tell you what they were, and I'd been really good because I'd actually written them on my stamp set already. So what you have got are sweet gum tree seed pods, lotus pods. These ones are physalis, which are Cape gooseberries, I know them as. This one here is the bottle tree seed, which is this sort of pointy one. And I think those are the seeds from the bottle tree. That's a physalis as well. And then there's the maple tree leaf. So the maple tree leaf is lovely. Obviously that's Canada, so maple leaves. The poppies, you get those everywhere. Obviously poppy heads are absolutely beautiful, but some lovely ones first of all the continents represented really for where Stampin' Up! Actually operates, which is lovely to see. And what I say this every time, I do like a stamp set that comes with some sentiments. I mean, not always, but it's great to have extra ones so I get one stamp set out and can create with that. And this one is about enjoying the moment, but I'm using the happy birthday image. So I'm just doing a couple of simple cards, also using In Good Taste paper. So this is a mega pack of 24 sheets of designer series paper, and it's all kind of either wood or tiles or textured images. So lots of different ones, 2 each of 12 designs. And you see you've got wood, you've got sort of brickwork, tile patterns, but they're kind of a good neutral background, but there are some lovely colours. So you've got a bit of pinks in there, a bit of rococo rose, and a bit of flirty flamingo maybe even, but say you've kind of got tiles and texture, a bit of blue in there. Can't remember which blue it is. Let's have a look. It is Night of Navy. And earlier espresso, sort of grey granites. I say great paper to use with our neutrals, but just good all-round background paper. As I say, 12 by 12 sheets, so but a bigger pack of paper that I kind of resisted getting to start off with, but actually I found it really useful to have in my stash. So a couple of techniques I'm going to be using today. It's just some simple repeat stamping and then stepping it up with some layers. So to start off with then, you're going to need a card base or a couple of card bases, and these are 29 by 10.5 centimetres, scored at 14.5, or 11.5 by 4 1/8, scored at 5 3/4. So 2 of those. And then I've got a couple of pieces of designer series paper, and I'm just going to actually cut those to the same size the card front. So they're already at 10.5. So just down to 14.5. That one's done already. Couldn't remember if I had trimmed those or not. Okay, so that one is actually at 4 inches. So I'll just need to trim that to 5 3/4. And then remember which one's which. And make sure my card base is, which I probably don't now. Just trim that one to 4 inches by 5 3/4. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, make sure I line those up. So let's do my starter one. So, I'm just going to use some early espresso ink. So, one of our neutrals card ink colours, and just using one of these backgrounds. So, I'm just going to ink up, tap, tap, tap to ink up. I'm kind of positioning that just slightly to the left of centre, and I'm just sort of popping it so I've got space to add my other images around it. I'm actually going to do a little bit of colouring on this one as well in a moment, but I'm going to do some repeat stamping. So with the maple leaves, what I love about these seed pods is the way they fall and they spin and twirl. So I'm kind of trying to get that effect on there as well. And then just some simple stamping to the right hand side there of our image. Now if you wanted to vary that up a bit, what I would do is repeat stamp and stamp off and move it slightly. So you've got that there, so stamp off. And that's a really good way of adding a bit of interest to a card, like so. Now I'm using our Dandy Garden ribbon. It's kind of like a twine really here. It comes in Mossy Meadow, and this coordinates really well. So this paper is in the this ribbon is in the January to June one. I just thought it might be rather nice to just pop a little bit on here. And what I find with these, tie it into a neat little bow, and then if you just grab one of our glue dots and pop that on the back of the knot, you've just got a little bit of an embellishment there. And all remains to do is decorate the inside of your card. And actually I'm just going to use, where I've already stamped with it, I'm just huffing on it to reactivate the ink, and just almost to give just a paler shade on the inside as well. And then to add a little interest, all I'm doing is going to take one of our blender pens and just soften, and in effect you're taking the ink from that's already in the image and just using that to kind of colour in. You can just see it fills it in a little bit more on that image as well. So just a way of kind of, say, just adding a little bit of interest, doing something a little bit different. Grab your adhesive. This is where I hope I've got the right card base to go with the imperial measurements. Open your card up to add your cards, to add your DSP, and there we have card number 1. So second card, similar but different. So what I've actually got already cut are a couple of bits of cardstock for the front and focal image. So this is where we're adding some layers. So let's do our stamping first. That can be drying. So same effect by repeat stamping our leaves. We can obviously come further over because we are going to pop this pop our layer on the front there, and stamp over the edge as well, because that just makes it look more natural as well. So pop that to one side. My Whisper White is 6 by 9.5 centimetres, and I'm just going to stamp that image just in the centre there. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp my happy birthday on a piece that is 2 by 5, about 2 by 5 centimetres. And I've just created a narrow layer, which is just so this is 2.3 by 5.3 centimetres to give just a narrow border, and this is 6.3 by 10.3, so we can add that as a layer as well. And what I'm going to do is just grab a scrap of my Whisper White cardstock and just stamp the top section of those images again. Okay. So, clear the decks a little bit. I'm going to add my layer. Oh, I haven't stamped the inside of my card yet. And obviously when you're stamping the inside of your card, stamp your envelope as well to give it a little bit more interest. So there's my first layer. I'm going to use my blender pen again with this. And I'm going to grab my little seeds to add some interest as well. So okay, now I'm going to use my blender pen and my ink here, and all I'm going to do is, I'm not going to dip my blender pen onto my ink pad. Don't do that, because it obviously you're adding to your ink pad. Just add it onto a block like this. Work it out a little bit. And colour those seed heads in like so. So you only need the tiniest little bit, because you can obviously use the shadings there already. And as I did on my other card, I'm just going to use that to colour in slightly. I'm going to take my snips and I'm just going to cut out a couple of those seed heads. And I'm sort of taking the front two, so on this one I'm going to leave the other one sort of in the background. I'm just cutting out those ones that are in there. Now if fussy cutting isn't your thing, that's fine. Obviously it's fine as it is. And then to add a bit of dimension, this is my easiest way that I do it, is I literally use my scissors, roll it in my hand. So in the palm of your hand, just use that to shape slightly. Now what you can do here is you can do a false bow if you want to, which means you can add your bow on separately. This piece of card, you should find it reasonably easy to add our bow and tie it. But if you're struggling at all, I would say, yeah, do a knot rather than a bow, or add your bow on separately, and then just come in and then pop it down. I'm going to just pop that down towards the bottom there. Then all that remains, grab some dimensionals. One behind each of those, pop them onto the top, and then we're going to pop some dimensionals onto the back of that panel. And I do my, I would say one in each corner, couple down the middle, just to keep it supported. And that is ready to go onto our card. Like about there. Trying to get an even border front and side. And the happy birthday, I'm going to add that actually at the bottom corner. So a dimensional in that bottom corner there, and a touch of glue on the top left. And then that is ready to go onto our card front. So really should have added my paper on first, rather than adding my layers. I'd forgotten I hadn't added it onto the front of the card, to be honest with you. Happens to all of us. There we go. And just line that up with that centre score line and add it to the front. One thing I forgot to do was just blend that last one in. And if you wanted to add a little bit more interest to that and really make that image pop, what I would suggest is that you grab something like Pool Party ink. If you've got a blend, that's fine, as in a stamping blend, but just add a little shading around the outside to ground that image. Give it just the slightest of halo, just to give the effect of sky behind it. So there we have a couple of cards. Simple, stepped up, early espresso ink, so just a single ink colour used on that, but one with just a little bit of extra soon makes very pretty cards. And you could always add some diamantes or embellishments if you like those as well, just to make it pop. So thanks for watching. If you'd like to buy the Enjoy the Moment stamp set or anything else you've seen today, pop along to my Stampin' Up shop. I would love it if you would choose me as your demonstrator at heidismith.stampinup.net, or follow the links below the video or on my blog. Thanks for watching. Bye.